Hey team! Week 2 recap. Here we go. First and foremost, I really apologize for this being late. Hawaii was absolutely amazing. That'll be another time and place to tell you about this. But we took the kids and we even took sitters. We took my parents. And I still just didn't feel like I had a whole lot of time to relax. So I brought all these books and I had all these things I thought I was going to get to do, and I didn't. So, moral of the story, we had amazing time with our family. Precious, precious moments with our family. But it's a much different trip than when we went last year, just me and Rob. So if you get the chance, go without kids at least once and experience that, and then you can take the kids later. I think we're going to take the kids a couple years from now when they're a little bit older. But back to what to say when you talk to yourself. Week 2 recap. We're going to talk about chapter 7 through 12 today. As I was flipping through these, so many of the things that they talk about in chapter 7 through 12 are already videos that other teammates have shared in these last couple of weeks. So make sure you guys are staying on top of watching the daily video Monday through Friday. And I always put, today we're on week 3, day 3. And I always put that, I put week 1, week 2, week 3, what day we are, and I always hashtag September shift, so you can go back and watch all of those. So make sure you're doing that. Be invested. Again, like we always say, it takes all of your senses to learn things. So if you're just reading the book and not incorporating it, not doing what it suggests, not reinforcing it with the daily videos and the posts on the team page, it's probably not going to get as much out of it as if you're doing Zooms with your team and watching those daily videos and doing the repeat ad and there's positive affirmations. Take advantage. I mean, September shift is a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process, but don't miss the wagon here, because people are having huge breakthroughs that are going to transform their life and their business in the months and years to come. Because what we learned about this week is internal motivation was one of the chapters, and we can't have, we can't have that person in our ear all the time like, you can do this. This is what you need to do. Yay, the motivational speaker who speaks to you for 2 hours and you're inspired and you go home and you're not. Internal motivation comes inward. It comes from personal responsibility. Responsibility is not a bad word. I love how he has the analogy of you may had some help coming into this world, being born, but you took that first breath and you've taken every breath after that. That was your responsibility. That was what you did. Nobody else made you do that or could have you do that. That was you. And so the neat thing about, as we're reprogramming our mind through this September shift, we're getting that internal motivation again because we're believing in ourselves again. So quickly, I wanted to rehash in one of the beginning chapters. They talked about how everything was connected. I'm going to go backwards. Your programming leads to your beliefs, which leads to your attitudes, which leads to your feelings, which leads to your behaviors. So let's talk about that real quick. That was in chapter... Find my book. That was in chapter 8. So programming. Let me read this part right here. Start with the first step. Change your programming. That's how the brain works. If you want to manage yourself in a better way to change your results, you can do so at any time you choose. First start with the programming. That's the first step. Change your programming. And that's what we're doing. Y'all, so much of this is subconscious. We are not aware that we have been speaking these lies or believing these lies over and over and over and over again in our head. And hopefully you'll be having these light bulb moments and you're able to catch yourself when you're believing a lie or holding yourself back because of something you thought was true, which it's not. So we have to start with the programming. We've got to get that repeat app out, and we've got to tell ourselves the things that we can and the things that we are, and we've got to speak life into our doubts, okay? Because our programming affects our beliefs, and our beliefs are what we believe to be true. Like, here's an example. Like, if you believe, this was big for me, if you believe you're shy and if you're an introvert and you can't make friends, then guess what? You're not going to put yourself out there to make friends. You're going to stay stagnant in your business and in your life, and you're going to miss out on some rich relationships and people who really need you in their life because you're told yourself your whole life you're shy, you're an introvert. Yeah, maybe you are shy, maybe you're an introvert. That doesn't mean you can sit on the sidelines for the rest of your life and let extroverts have all the fun and get all the business. I've even had some people say to me, I just wish I was a red. I wish I was a red. You can be red. Like it doesn't have to be your main characteristic, but you can be who you are and be successful, because if you tell yourself you are a leader, you can do this. You love to talk to people. You love to make new relationships. You have, you're beneficial. You have something of value to add to other people's lives. What you think is important and other people deserve to know it. You've got to start that way, because I know because I'm an introvert, but I'm very much push myself to the limits because I know that I have something of value. I know others need what I have to say and to share and to change their life. So that was just an example from my source. If you see yourself believing, because you don't realize it, but start to realize it. You've told yourself every time, I'm shy, I'm awkward, people don't like me, I'm an introvert. Stop using those as excuses. Those aren't handicaps anymore. That's just the programming that you've believed your whole life that you can change. Okay? So our programming affects our beliefs, which affects our attitudes, which affects our feelings. How you feel affects what you do. If you feel like nobody likes you, then you're not going to be confident in what you do. But if you feel like people like you, you are a likable person, then you're going to be more confident in what you have to offer the world and offer other people. And in that, other people are going to see your confidence. Okay? And then our feelings affect our behaviors, which are actions. So much of this, we got to go back to the basics. We've got to be reprogramming. She tells the story about in this apartment, she had all this old furniture, and it just was old and worn out, and so they take it out to the garage, because they're going to get new. And they hadn't got new furniture yet, but they slowly find themselves, bringing the chair back in because they need somewhere to sit, bringing that picture on the wall because they need something else on the wall, slowly bringing all that stuff back in because they didn't have any new to replace it. So that's where this comes. So you guys may be having Okay, so you may be having these light bulb moments where you're realizing the things that you've believed, like, I can't, I'm not that, I should, or all of those things. But don't just realize them. Don't just have light bulb moments. We have to reprogram. That is where the change happens. We got to bring the new furniture in. Every time I catch myself in a lie I'm believing about myself or thinking about myself, I write it down, because otherwise I'm going to forget. And then I make a repeat app about it, speaking the positive affirmation into it. Repeating that. I write about it. I pray about it. I repeat app about it. Because if we don't, we're not bringing any new furniture in, so that old stuff is going to come back. That's biblical. Like, if we clean the house out and we don't refill it, the bad things are just going to come back tenfold. So we have to reprogram. Wanting to be a positive thinker isn't enough. Making the decision to have a positive attitude isn't enough. The human brain says, give me more, give me the words, give me the directions, the commands, the picture, the schedule, and the results you want. Then I will do it for you. Give me the words. What to say when you talk to yourself. You've got to say the positive. You've got to say the opposite. Okay? I'm going to wrap up real quick. And on page 95, the bottom of page 95, the bottom of page 95, this is what leadership is about. Because we're learning these things, we're knowing how to reprogram, but people on our teams may not. I had one girl say to me once, I know what to do. I know how to do this Plexus business. Other people on my team just don't know how to do it. And that she wasn't helping them. She was just going on without them. I've had other people say, well, if my team doesn't want it, then that's their fault. Okay, we can't just... I had another girl tell me, if other people on my team don't want it, then that's their fault. Okay, we have to help them. Let me read this to you. If you are responsible in any way for training, development, motivation, inspiration, or direction of other people, regardless of your field, whether you are a business person, educator, a parent, or a friend, remember that the people you are talking to want to believe in the best you are giving them. But always remember that their progress towards accepting it, believing it, and acting upon it is first and always filtered through their own previous conditioning and programming. If you truly want to reach them, work first with their self-talk. It is the unconscious self-talk they are using today which will determine whether they subconsciously open the door to you or turn you away. Work first with the self-talk, which is guiding them now. Share with them self-talk, which will open the door, and then watch what happens. People want to improve. They want to change for the better. Help them with positive self-talk. See themselves in a better way, and they will. Okay, we've got to help them with this reprogramming, because we've got all these people that come to their network marketing and they have these dreams and it doesn't work for them because they never really got started, or they never believed in themselves, or they have fears of failure, fears of success, or fears of talking to people. And we never got to the root of that with them. We just thought, well, they had so much potential, but they never got started. But if we would really have that relationship with them, really do positive self-talk with them, we could help them see what their fears were, what their roadblocks were, and help them to overcome those. So that is what leadership is about. The people on your team, this is about adding value to their life, because they cannot and will not be successful with their old negative programming. This is why this September shift is so important. This is why I begged of you to personal message every single person on your team and have them do the September shift. There's still time. There's still time to do that now. There's still time for you to jump in. I've been doing week 1 recap, week 2 recap. You can watch all those videos, incorporate all this stuff, and change your life. It's about reprogramming. In these next 2 weeks, we're going to do actual physical things to help yourself reprogram. But right now, know that and motivation starts from within. So catch yourself in those lies, write about those, journal about those, reprogram those, use the Repeat app, reprogram your mind. Don't just catch yourself. Feed it more with the positive. Refeed it, okay? Thanks for sticking with us, you guys. Next week's recap video will be this Friday, so just in a couple days. September shift. Hello.